Thanks, Jose. Yeah, right now we're cloudy. We've got temperatures in the mid 70s to near 80 degrees. Some storms firing up off to our north, and we've got a couple showers on the west side of town. So I'm going to zoom in to that for you. Although it's mostly not of consequence, you can notice a couple of downpours trying to fire up, so you might get briefly clipped by that. But the majority of the widespread rain will not be arriving until the overnight hours. So as we widen out the view, take a look at the water vapor satellite imagery. You can notice a well-defined spin. We've got a mid-level closed low circulation here and storms firing off in North Texas, where the situation is certainly going to be much more rocky this afternoon and evening. Front situated about here, so across the Texas panhandle, and storms firing up that are likely going to produce a large to potentially giant hail, the potential for some stronger tornadoes as well as damaging winds. And then we'll be watching for all of that to progress through into the overnight hours. Notice we're shaded here on a 1 to 5 scale, where some of these might still be feisty in the overnight hours, but by then a lot of this will have lost steam by the time it gets to the Gulf Coast. So we've got mostly cloudy skies, a couple of peaks of blue offering some filtered sunshine off to the surface. Aside from that, we're a little bit on the breezy and humid side for now. And as we make our way through the afternoon and evening, I can't rule out an isolated shower or storm, but mainly those rain chances are going to be rising.
Plans may be affected.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be better days or better opportunities, more so than others. Friday looks fantastic for the most part, and then the second half of Sunday should be good too. So our first round of rain and storms is going to come through overnight tonight. Then we'll see late day improvements Thursday that will linger through much of the day on Friday. Saturday's forecast is a bit on the challenging side, mainly with timing, but we'll take a look at the different possibilities. And of course, the Fox 26 weather app will help you to navigate not only tonight's rain, but also the rain coming in on Saturday in the event that you have plans. Today into tonight, mostly rocky in North Texas. We could see large to very large hail. If you've got friends or family living there, make sure they've got covered parking for their car, but also the potential for damaging winds and tornadoes can't be ruled out. As that pushes farther south towards us in the overnight hours, we're looking at the potential for locally heavy rainfall, some gusty winds, and I also can't rule out the possibility of hail either. So they'll still be a bit on the feisty side by the time they get to us, but in general, losing steam. Here we can see the excessive rainfall outlook keeps most of that heavy rain off to the north, so something we'll be tracking as that pushes in the overnight hours tonight. And as we take a look at kind of amounts of rain as this all goes pushing through, we can see that throughout the day today, that isolated rain not going to amount to much of anything. A quick half an inch to maybe an inch at best. The majority of this really does push through in the overnight hours and fizzles out as it gets closer to the coastline. So the highest probability of seeing 1 to 2 inches of rainfall would be off in our northern counties, in addition to some of those stronger storms. In Futurecast, we can see some isolated cells kind of popping up in the afternoon and evening hours, and we will have to watch off to the north and west for the potential of some of those being a bit on the stronger side. Then we get into the overnight hours and everything starts kind of coming in from the north closer to midnight in our northern counties, likely arriving in the Houston metro pre-dawn around 3 o'clock, and then eventually pushing off to the coastline closer to sunrise. With that wind shift lingering, we could still have an isolated shower or two through mid-morning, but in general, the trend is drier for the second half of Thursday, staying dry on Friday. And then here's that next round of rain that we'll be eyeing sometime as early as maybe even Friday night through Sunday morning, and then we'll see improving conditions late Sunday. So if you've got outdoor plans for Sunday afternoon, things are looking better, and then we should hang on to nice weather as we make our way. Alerts notified on for you this evening, especially in our northern counties, although we'll be cloudy and mild with low 80s for most of the day. Only isolated rain. A round of storms will push through in the overnight hours and end early tomorrow. Then we'll see some clearing late Thursday through Friday with another round of rain that you'll likely need to track in the Fox 26 weather app for Saturday. Improvements for the second half of the weekend, and those should linger as we make our way into storms. Woke me up as well, Melissa. They dropped a quick 1 to 2 inches of rainfall in multiple locations. You can see that swath of heavier moisture off to the north, but even as far south as, Pearland, Sugarland area, there was a brief aerial flood advisory in place for rising water on the roadways, and then this all kind of trickled as we made our way closer to the coastline. Now, that should be it for the rain for the rest of today anyway, but we do have some residual cloud cover out there, kind of some wraparound clouds. As you can see, the storm's exiting off to the east, but the edge of the clouds is still well off to the west of College Station. So this will make temperatures a little slow to rise. I've knocked down daytime highs just a bit. We've got upper 60s and lower 70s. Should still make our way into the mid to upper 70s with some breaks in this cloud cover and eventual clearing as we make our way into Friday. Taking a look outside, we can see some of these peaks of blue sky here and some filtered sun reaching us at the surface. Winds are out of the west, so not quite seeing that wind shift just yet, and still fairly, humid air in play, not quite dry. But as we head into tomorrow, it's going to be a beautiful day, and we should continue to see the decrease increase in cloud cover today. So plan for some late day sun. The rest of today looks pretty good in the event that you've got some plans this evening. And as skies clear out, temperatures will cool into the 50s tonight. So we're looking at a relatively pleasant start to the day tomorrow. Tomorrow looks good too, but as Melissa mentioned, changes on the way. We've got another round of rain to work through for Saturday. So we'll chat about that coming up in 15 minutes from now. These storms, and they were some hail producers as we expected them to be, but I mean in farther north Texas we're talking about hail that was larger than 3 inches in diameter. That's about the size of a grapefruit. Closer to home, we also had some storm reports in northern Polk County, some wind gusts down some tree limbs in addition to a nickel-sized hail there, but we had hail 1 inch in diameter farther to the north near Madisonville and Crockett, and even all the way as far south as the Beltway. So that's about a quarter if we're kind of comparing it to an object in size. Now we've had hefty rounds of rain. We had some last week, we had some this week. So this is the newest drought monitor that came out this morning, and we can see improvements. We've remediated some of the drought that was starting to kind of develop across the area. There are still a couple of patches or problem spots, and in particular the one along the coastline is a little troublesome because a lot of what happens sometimes with these fronts is as they make their way towards the coastline, they fizzle out, and so our coastal communities don't get quite as much rain as our northern communities. At least we've got more rain to chat about though, and it might impact your plans late Friday night and into Saturday. As we head into the weekend, Friday is going to be fantastic. A cool morning after that front cleared out the humidity. We'll have a warm sunny afternoon, but then late night increase in cloud cover. Some scattered storms overnight into the start of the day on Saturday, and then late on Saturday we'll start to see improvements. Notice a difference in temperatures though for daytime highs. A much cooler day on Saturday with all that cloud cover and on and off rain. Once again, we're looking at the possibility that some of these storms could pack a punch, but our local impacts are mainly a few stronger storms with locally heavy rainfall and gusty winds. Notice just how much that possibility goes up though. Another day where we might see large hail in North Texas. So plan for around 7 o'clock a line of storms approaching. Some of the models have it falling apart. Some of the models have it holding together, but at least isolated to scattered showers and storms will be with us through the start of the day Saturday and into the afternoon, and then eventually skies will clear out as we head into Saturday night and again into Sunday morning. So Sunday is looking great too, and actually much of next week is. Looks like we'll hang on to sunshine, warming temperature. Skies will continue to gradually clear today, and then we'll end the work week on a sunny note. We do have another round of overnight showers and storms though as we make our way into Saturday, but then take a look as we head into next week. Dare I say it, more than one day of sunshine.